Hello everyone, it is another morning of working on the E46, and I say morning, it's actually 5 o'clock because I was tired and spent the entire day sitting around. Today, we're going to be using this kit to add Bluetooth to the factory radio in my BMW, but first, there's something that I need to address. Now, I am not by any means an audiophile, but I do like music, and it is quite annoying when my music is punctuated by that rattle. So as you can see, or maybe not because it is real dark in here. As you can see, I've taken down the ultrasonic sensor and some of the trim. I was taking a look up above the headliner to see what I can see. Answer, nothing. The sunroof cassette is sort of its own deal up there, so I have to do everything through this slot. But what I found is that there's like a cross support in the back that is out of its mounting on one side. It's just kind of sitting there rattling around. So the correct way to fix this would be to actually drop the headliner and address the problem properly. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to shove a rag up there to shut it up, because I really don't want to drop. My headliner has not yet started falling down. I don't want to accelerate that process, so for now it's rag time. Shout out to Scott Joplin. With any job like this, it's important to have the right tools. Unfortunately, I don't do that sort of thing, so instead we are using a rag. We are using a long pointy piece, or a long piece of stiff metal for poking at things, and then we're using two picks zip tied together to make a long curved pokey thing, perfect for scratching your nose or removing your corneas. This is going to be incredibly difficult for me to show, not only because it's very dark in here, but because I don't really have room to stick the camera here. So what is going to happen is I'm gonna stick the camera on the dashboard and aim it up. That's not going to work at all. I'll show a video I took with my phone because it has a flashlight built in that actually shows what's going on here. Focus. There we go. Yeah, there it is. Not entirely sure what's going on over there. So I'm going to use the curved end on this to try and pry up. This is going to take more hands than I have. What I'm trying to do is prop up that piece of metal so that I can slip the rag underneath the right side of it. Do we have any more rattles? We sure don't. Let's see if I can show what's going on here. Yep, there it is. That is a rag shoved under a piece of metal. Is the sunroof gonna work? I don't know. I'm just not gonna use it, because I don't really care that much about sunroofs anyway, and the more I use it, the closer it comes to just breaking entirely. So I'm gonna put this guy back. There we go. And I'm gonna put this trim back. Oh, that's vicious. That's gonna take two hands, probably. So now that we have our rattle temporarily eradicated, I'm going to take a closer look at what this is. I actually picked this up used from a local BMW enthusiast and fan of the show. It goes by a whole lot of names. I found it on Amazon, eBay, all sorts of places. It's pretty generic. It's just a box here. Got some dip switches, mic port, aux in, SD card, USB, reset button, and then a DB15. That DB15 goes to this nice long harness, which goes to an AT style plug, which goes to the actual harness. And so this side will plug into the radio and this side into the car. This goes to the box, and then this also goes in the back of the radio into this sort of modular plug thing. So pretty straightforward. It just plugs into the head unit and it imitates a CD changer and lets you connect your phone with Bluetooth. Pretty cool. And then if you plug in this microphone, you can make calls. May or may not do that. We'll see what my routing option's like. Making calls isn't really a huge priority for me, but you know, might be nice. Now, if I remember correctly, which I probably don't, the only tools I'm going to need for this really are going to be a plastic pry tool and a Phillips head screwdriver. If I remember correctly, we take off two trim pieces, and there's one screw on either side of the radio. Radio comes out, module goes in. Couldn't be simpler. What could possibly go wrong? Well, I'm gonna figure out what can go wrong, and probably I'm gonna do that. Again, thanks to Chris for the hookup on this kit, and thanks for showing me kind of how to do this. One thing that I am looking forward to is this actually already has an auxiliary cable in it, which I used a lot on the way back from Dallas. So I'm curious to see how that hooks up. I think it's the cheesy sort of thing. It's not very reliable. It likes to disconnect randomly. So getting this out, just gonna gently lever from the bottom here. And I was told to expect to break some of these pins. Oh, there we go. Ooh, that came out pretty nice. Oh, I'm gonna need a little bit of help here on this right side. There we go. I'm sorry if that was a little hard to see, but as you can see, it's just got these interesting little metal pegs that go into these plastic receivers, and none of these pulled out with the trim piece, which is pretty cool. And then this is the BMW M Cube design, the black version. This is actually a composite metal and something else. It's like, this is plastic, then there's a sheet of aluminum, and then there's whatever this pattern is. So I'm just gonna set that up here, and then we work on, oh, okay, so that one pretty much just falls out. Okay, there we go. Ah, so that's kind of how I was told to expect this to go, is these things coming out. I'll have to figure out a way to pop that back in, or just get on FCP Euro and order a few more of these. Just stick that up there. Done with this guy now. Time for this. Just 2 screws, 1 on either side. Someone's been in here. Shout out Dank Pods. Screw go in shift boot. That seems reasonable. And then on the left side. And in theory, this head unit just pulls right on out. In theory. Who knows what reality will actually give us. And there we've got it. Looks like we've got the big old wiring harness going in the back there, antenna on the right side. I'm gonna have to set the camera down and undo those, and I'll pull this radio the rest of the way back out. BMW business CD. Now it's worth noting that yes, I have the business CD with the Harman Kardon. This does not work with the navigation units in their various forms, but that's the radio out. Here's what we're left with. Here's what was plugged in. This is the aux cable here. That it goes down through here somehow. I'm gonna have to pull that out. Oh my gosh, that is in there. Use a pick or something and pull this blue piece out, and then that's how you get out that connector, because that connects to this part of our adapter harness. There we go. There we go. And you can see that it sort of pulls things together there. So that then needs to get shoved back in here. Holy moly, there's not a ton of room. This is kind of absurd. So looking at these plugs, this is the one that was like the auxiliary thing in the back. This was the like auxiliary cable that was plugged in, but this is like a secondary part of the modular plug, and it's got this tab in here that makes it go on the left side. This built-in part of the harness also has a tab that makes it go on the left side, so I think that just slides in there. All the way through like that, so it'll plug into the back of the radio. Just gonna test everything here. White plug goes there to this DB16. DB16 goes here into the module itself. And I don't know if there are any lights or any indication that this thing's actually working right. So let's just set this like that. Give the car a start. Okay, well that's good news. CD 699. Sure. I wonder if that means it's in pairing mode. Is there anything nearby? Car kit. Yes. Thing active. Okay. Audio library, music for content creators.
Let's play Raid Shadow Legends.
Ooh.
Start now for free.
What happens if I try to go to the next song? Ooh, that works. It says it's CD5 track 88. That works great. Now I've got to find a place to put all of this cable. So stand by. Debacle, noun, this. So where I'm at now is I absolutely cannot get all this wiring to fit back in the dash. I've pulled the climate control out simply by prying around the edges, which feels like everything's going to break, but as you can see, it's just retained by these incredibly aggressive metal clips. There's 2 screws here and here. I'm going to remove these, and then this whole plastic cage should come out, and that'll let me have a lot more flexibility with my wire routing. I'm trying to get this big box outside of like the confines of the actual radio area so that the radio can actually go back all the way. So it's been 2 hours. I finally have the radio back in. Look at that. Now I just gotta plug the AC back in and shove that stuff back in there. Ooh. Oh, that might be easier said than done. There's some, hang on. Yeah, there's some stuff under here. Hopefully that AC will actually go back. Alright, well thanks for watching. Hopefully this helps demystify a bit of this ridiculous process. And, well, hopefully this helps demystify some of this ridiculous process of getting this Bluetooth thing in here. I'm pretty happy with it. No calling or anything, but I didn't really need that. So, yeah, wireless music, great. Stock looking head unit, I'm a big fan of. And no more rattles, so that's awesome news. Thanks for watching.